Hey y'all, hey.
Hey y'all.
Welcome back to another episode of That's Right with Black Girls, Black Girlin', and Black Girls supporting Black Girls, Black Girlin'. I'm Crystal.
And I'm Elisa.
And we are
That's Right.
your favorite sister podcast. Hey. What we talking about today? Because we're going to jump right in. We're trying to get the algorithm.
Right in. Okay, quick.
Okay.
Yeah, go watch episode 1. Anyway, today we talking about, oh, you look so pretty.
Thank you, boo. You look so pretty.
Today we're talking about pretty privilege.
Yes, with the pretty.
With the pretty Black girls.
That's right. Hello.
Is pretty privilege even a thing? Is it a thing?
Is this an interview of the pretties?
I know, huh? For
Look,
real.
my hair is short. I can't even do it.
No, your hair looks beautiful, perfect. Like that short hair.
But what would have happened if it was long? I'd have been like,
oh yeah, you would have been.
That's what I would have done.
Slapping me in the face.
It's fine. We'll roll like this.
Yeah.
All right. With the prettiest, I can't even snap.
Thank you.
All right. So come on. Do you honestly?
I think it's a thing, honestly? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think.
Do you really?
Yeah. Pretty privilege is.
What is that?
Thing. What does that look like? What is a definition?
Or do you think it's the same across every like? Do you know what? Yes, I would like a definition.
I'm not gonna give you a definition, right? But what I do feel like is that, I mean, pretty is obvious, all right? So, pretty is really what it is. Like, pretty, the privilege part of it is, well, take me for instance, like growing up.
Take me for instance. Wait a minute.
But this happens to all females, all girls. You know, like I remember times where easily, even with me dating, and being submissive to him, but of course being young at the same time, you still have friends, you still have dudes that hang around you that like you. So
You're about to blow my top. So I have two things. You were submissive in the date when you were dating?
What do you mean? What
Submissive. You were submissive to a man and you were simply dating him?
I'm talking about the guy, my man, the one I married at 18.
You're carrying on something that no one knows what you're talking about.
Oh, well, they need to know Crystal and Elisa, and they need to be following our episodes, because I am not going
You're talking about some random dude that you were submissive to, and I was about to be like, whoa, I love you.
Sis.
I envy you being submissive because I'm not the one of the two. Okay, go ahead.
Well, maybe that was a strong word. But anyways, being loyal to the dude that I was with. You're an ex-husband.
Yes,
Thank you. Okay, do I need to be more descriptive?
I would like you to.
Okay, well, my bad.
Just because sometimes some people, it's going
I
to be
had to go follow the episodes, okay? Go figure it out in the previous episodes.
Okay, people don't want to.
Anyway, but yeah, so having friends, girlfriends, and then having, guys of those friends, you tend probably maybe to have somebody that may like you. And I'm saying pretty privileged because I've been in situations where a guy knows that I'm dating or that I'm with somebody and still would buy you Valentine's gifts and send it through your friend, or buy you lunch knowing that you're with somebody because you're pretty, or take you out on trips with your homegirls. I know that I've been there before, having friends and having a guy actually pay for me and my friends actually to go to Miami or go on a trip. Just because.
Did he go too?
Nope. Okay. Nope. So, and I think that even like in society today, even with pretty girls, like I can go back to reality shows and just think about all like the females that are dating NBA players or basketball, football players, whatever. Like I think that there is definitely a such thing as pretty privilege, but personally, I feel like beauty comes within. I don't think that it's just all with the outside appearance of you. I think beauty is natural. Like there are situations where, and I'm not saying that I've been in it, but just to be humorous about it, there's situations where you have a girl, she might not be all that attractive, and you have this fine man, and you looking at them, and they're just so in love, walking through the mall, holding hands, and you're like,
she must be paying his bills. That's what you're thinking.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that to say that beauty can come within. It's not really all about how you really look. It actually is how you carry yourself, just the confidence that you have in yourself in order to, I don't know, just the beauty and the confidence that you have in yourself. And then I have a child too. So with my daughter, I'm trying to teach her not to, think that just because you're pretty, you're gonna get anything. You got to make sure that, because sometimes being pretty and privileged is not a good thing either. Sometimes it's like somebody might like you, might be giving you the world or giving you this, but in return, they're like, you got to do something for me. So it might always be something extra by being pretty and getting things. That's all I got to say about being pretty and privileged. Do you got anything to say, sis?
Have you met me? Have we met? I'm Crystal
First
Wright.
thing first.
I'm Crystal Wright. Don't ask me if I got something to say. I have a ton of things to say.
Oh my God, let's go.
Sitting here listening, and I was like,
I rambled through that too.
No, you did great. But if I ask too many questions, we're gonna get hate mail.
It's
and
fine.
so I don't want to ask too
kind
many
of
questions.
get it on social media anyway.
So look, I don't think so. This is my personal opinion. Okay. I think that I don't limit pretty privilege to, and I'm not saying that you do, I'm just saying what you just talked about.
That's fine.
Limit pretty privilege to, what I can get from what the opposite sex does to me. When I think of pretty privilege, I think, have you gotten a job because you're beautiful and less because you are qualified for that, right? Like, have you gotten upgrades at like maybe hotels or things like that because, they find you attractive. And so, because I know when I was young and real refined, there were things I could do, and people would say, you can only do that because you look like this, right? And so I have had the benefit of that. And I think when I've had men do things for me prior to being married, it was definitely because they expected to sleep with me. Like, I don't know that I had, in the long run, not maybe that night, maybe, you're taking me out, we're doing all that stuff, but your expectation was that eventually you do, for all intents and purposes, maybe think I'm beautiful, but the expectation was not. I don't think that's pretty privilege. I think that's another P privilege. I think that's what I equate. You know what I'm saying? But as far, like I said, I think the privilege of, you look a certain way and then you get things like out of society more so than just the opposite sex. And I think it can work against you also. Yes, and so let me say this. So you said everyone is beautiful, whatever. I do think beauty is in the eye of the beholder, like hands down, that's great, whatever. I also think there's a standard of beauty. Okay. And so I think it is unfair, but I think that people have their own standards of beauty. Like, so, some people cannot, fathom dark-skinned women being pretty, right? And I remember someone telling me something like, I was young and hot. I'm old and hot. But I remember this person was like, something, they're angry with you because you're so pretty. And I was like, you can't say that because you don't even know if they think I'm pretty. Like, that's a very weird reason to say someone's angry. And he was like, you're objectively pretty. Like, it's not like whatever. But I know, and I told him, some people don't think dark-skinned women are pretty, no matter what you look like, period. You know what I'm saying? I got a big forehead, messed up chin.
You funny.
So, don't find that attractive. Now, sometimes my stomach sits in my lap. You know what I mean? But I do find that, well, I will say I have experienced pretty privilege. I have experienced the benefit of getting extra things that don't have to do with sex because I'm pretty. I've experienced opportunities because people find me attractive. But I also have a really great personality. Okay. So maybe that's it. Yeah. Because I do think it has to, okay, so do you think it can exist alone? Do you think you get to be beautiful and maintain the privilege of that thing, right? Like, can you access a privilege and then lose it if you're just a nasty person with a bad spirit?
I think that's a really good question. And I think that's something that I'm training my daughter on too, and that I had to learn over the years because I only thought it was one thing. If I was pretty, then I can get this. But
your beauty opens the door.
Your beauty opens the door, but there has to be a such thing as beauty and brains. Has to be a such thing as you being beautiful morals. And going to get a degree. And yeah, absolutely. And morals, because again, that can be taken away from you. And at the end of the day, that person may feel like you owe them something. There's some expectation behind that. So yeah, I think that it could be one-sided, but it will only last for so long. Right.
Yeah, and I think that's I think that's more what pretty privilege is. It's an opportunity, right? Like that some people would not have. I also think that, and it's funny, even now, I am distinguished, established attorney. And I wear my nails, I wear my hair. I don't do my makeup like this every day. But you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to do lashes or whatever.
Yeah.
When I have walked into the courtroom and had people say, I know you're a good attorney because you can't come in here looking like that and not be good.
I know, that's right.
And not, it's just like they have decided that because they think they find me attractive, like...
It's almost like a stereotype.
Yeah. Like she's daring in her looks, right? And so she's got to be able to back that up because you don't get to come in here looking like this and not know what you're doing.
Yes.
And so thank God I always.
There is a lot of pressure behind coming.
There is a lot of pressure, and I was talking to one of my best friends because I am nice. I'm really like, let me say this. I'm not nice. I'm kind. And you know how I feel about
absolutely.
that. So I am kind. I try to be really, really patient and just extend so much grace to opposing counsel. Sometimes people are really nasty to me and I can't figure it out. So I was talking to my best friend. She was like, because you're beautiful and you're super, because I'm super smart. Like
yes.
I hands down, I might sometimes feel like my eyebrows off, but baby,
I cannot.
What I am is intelligent.
Absolutely.
Right? And
Absolutely.
so she's like, it's because you look the way you look and you're smart. Like I'm going to come in there with the law. I'm well poised. I'm a black girl in the courtroom, all of that. Right?
Absolutely.
And so it does. And I've watched my colleagues, I've witnessed things, and I'm just kind of like, yo, if I said that, people would be, oh my God, so offended, right? Because the black girl who looks like a black girl, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's less pretty privilege and more racism, or the negativity of being pretty. But that's another show.
Right now.
That's another show. But no, but I do think that I think pretty privilege is real, but I think that it only takes you so far.
I agree with you on that.
I think that what it does is it opens that door. If you experience it, it opens the door. And then once you get there, you can't fly out being pretty forever. You're going to have to be able to put up or shut up. And then, you get out, you go off. You said something about, I love you. You're my favorite person in the world.
I know. What?
So, and this goes back to beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Sometimes you're walking and you see someone that you think is objectively, unattractive. What do you think that has to do with like pretty privilege? Do you think that, and I'm saying, do you think that because here's the thing. I love you. We're sisters.
Of course.
I don't equate me being with any man a privilege. Right? Like a man choosing me is not a privilege for me, right? It's a privilege for him. Hello and goodbye, right? But okay, so I am the privilege, right?
Yeah,
like hands down. And I believe, I don't care what you look like. I believe women are the privileged in relationships, and I will die on that hill. So I don't know that, and so again, it goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. I don't equate a relationship, me being in a relationship or me having the ability to get something from a man, pretty privilege. Yeah. Because what else is it? Because Kenny, is that getting something gonna end in you doing something, professionally, like life changing, or does it stop at a trip? You know what I mean? And so I've done all that, but I definitely,
me too.
I've only done it. I've done it knowing there isn't, this ain't gonna last long term unless I sleep with this person, right? Exactly. And so, but that's not a privilege. But I have, I've gotten jobs, I've gotten speaking engagements, I've gotten things like that I know, I'm like, why me? And I'm like, oh, you look like this. That's very, very real. But I've been able to use that, turn that, and do good with it or whatever. Okay, so I do want to talk about something. So and back to the pretty privilege with men, and so you said this about the girl in the I don't know if you said mall or if I thought mall in my head.
I did say mall.
Okay, so do you feel like your perspective is that if you see a woman who is unattractive with a man that you think is objectively attractive, she doesn't deserve that? That is a privilege to her? No,
see, I never said privilege. I said, when I was talking about that, I was talking about beauty within.
Okay.
So I never tied that into privilege or anything like that.
But why did you make the point, and we're talking about pretty privilege, why did that come into
Because
your mind?
I said that beauty comes within. And so men can like females because of their personality. not just because of how they look, because of their confidence, because of how educated they are.
So your assumption is that the man that she's with doesn't find her attractive.
That's fine.
That's fine. That's your assumption.
No, I'm just saying. That could be reality, and that could be what it is. It's not. I don't even want to say that it's assumption. It can really be an unattractive woman with a fine female, or vice versa. So of course there has to be some substance. There has to be something there. But I guess my opinion, assumption from what you're saying, is that beauty comes from within.
No, I think actual beauty comes from within. But what I am saying is, if you are looking at someone that you and you're like, you think because beauty is in the eye of the beholder, you find the person unattractive, and then you find the mate objectively attractive, then you were saying how, she must be a nice person, versus that person could actually find the person that you think unattractive attractive.
And that's
right?
true.
Like that's just kind of
that's true.
And I think so. Do you think that women who are objectively, and I say objectively because it's always subjective, but objectively attractive by whatever this world standard is, do you think that they deserve to be treated better in a relationship, or they think they do?
I think that is a thing. I think that it happens. I think that pretty privilege can go into a female feeling spoiled because they've been pampered all their life because they were pretty, and it can be looked in a negative way. All men do look, I think, for a pretty woman, for a good looking appearance, or somebody that they can be with that's pretty. Men do. But men are also seeking and looking for somebody who is more than that.
There is such a pursuit of beauty, right? Like, and that's just real. Like, I wouldn't, given what we look like, that's where I was going with that. Sorry. Given what we look like on the first season, right? Like, I was very purposed in making sure I got my hair done. Because honestly, y'all, my hairstylist didn't flake on me. Like, remember last season, my hairstylist flaked on me. My hairstylist forgot about me this morning, but she sure got me the little bit. But
and the makeup artist flaked on us one time too.
Oh, don't talk about
devastating.
Her. Don't talk about her. I love her.
She came through. She made up. She made it up.
But that said, I want to present a certain way on this episode, this podcast. Like, would I come out here without lashes and brows on? No. But there is such a pursuit of beauty here, and it's with the surgeries, with people are. It's like they're looking to be able to attain pretty privilege. Like that's a thing, right? And so even if you say and I'm going a different place, but I think about that. I think about. Like me, I'm old. I have done some things. I really would like my stomach not to sit in my lap. I would really like to have surgery. But obviously I'm not, especially with the most recent tragedy, I'm not going to do that because I have to tell myself, like, you're not that vain. You're not in that much of pursuit of beauty by whatever standard that you have to risk your life for it. But that's what you have right now. Like, pretty privilege is such a thing. It does open so many doors that people are doing things, altering their bodies, not their personalities. Ain't nobody trying to get, trying to find God faster. People are really just trying to look different, conform to a standard, because maybe I might get, and maybe it is a privilege, maybe I might get a basketball player or a football player. Maybe I will have the privilege of that lifestyle based on what I look like, but then what are you sacrificing for that?
And I think that in society today with social media, it just makes it easier for anybody to be able to do it. To get on social media and flaunt themselves, no education, no nothing, just being pretty, having something cute on, and because of social media, getting some artist or somebody just to pop up in your DM. Social media makes it so easy for that.
You think about that too, like because people are like, oh, I'm a content creator or whatever. And so like these brands they're not in pursuit of Crystal with no lashes, no brows. That's not a thing that's happening. Nobody is trying to tell me like,
so pretty can also be an image.
I mean, I think it is. I think I think that's what it is.
Okay, so it's okay. So now we're kind of saying in certain instances.
Oh, I don't think I'm not saying it's okay.
Okay.
I am just saying that I feel like that. So you have this rush of people going to social media, trying to be content creators. Everybody's trying to go viral. Everybody's trying to make themselves something. And so, but you're competing against other people who are there. So now you're like, okay, well, I'm a makeup artist. This person, you can be an objectively unattractive makeup artist and be bomb.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, right. But then you have the beautiful one who is XYZ brand going to?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's just real. And so now you're doing all of these things to try to get ahead. But I just think that's the nature of a fallen world.
Yeah.
I know you don't have to take something somewhere every time, but I think it's the nature of a fallen world, and we are selling ourselves to our vanity in pursuit of pretty privilege. And so it's like, oh my God, I was talking to someone the other day, a client or something. So the young lady passed away due to surgery.
Yeah.
And so I was reading up on it, and they were saying like this is one of the most dangerous surgeries, and whatever, because she was trying to get surgery for her body.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to this person in the medical field, and I was like, it's so sad. They said it's one of the most dangerous surgeries. Do you know what she told me? It is one of the most dangerous surgeries because doctors can't afford malpractice suits because so many are getting them, so they're being sloppy. Not because it's inherently dangerous, but you have so many people flocking to get these perfect bodies that doctors now have just so much money that it's like, okay, I can skip a step here, or I can. And she didn't articulate what it was they were doing, but she was like, they can afford that because you're not going to get. For me, it's like disbarred. I don't know what it's called. Something with
Sounds
doctors.
Like that's what it'd be.
But I guess it would be. Maybe they have a bar. Anyway, they don't. It doesn't matter. Right, I don't know if there's an ethics committee checking them or whatever, but it's like...
Oh, no, they're running them like chop shops.
This is what I'm saying.
Honestly, they really are.
And so it's just like, so you are... But the industry is also pushing it. You know what I'm saying? And so they have defined what beauty is to us, and we are just eating that up in pursuit of a pretty privilege. But like, and I think therapy has upped. You know what I'm saying? I think, and maybe it's because I'm older and I know more. You know what I mean? But I do think that people are using therapy more, but it is still inherently because it's about me. Yeah. I don't think there is an uptick of people caring about society, caring about the legacy they leave or anything like that. I think the uptick is everybody is becoming more self-centered. Does that make sense? And so now I'm beautiful, and now, like, honestly, I don't want to have to deal with this narcissist. So I'm going to go to therapy about how to deal with a narcissist. You sound crazy. Like, you sound crazy. And then you have people who are like, who could be like objectively pretty in a different time, right? In a sense of not the time where people, because I have so many things to say that my brain is shutting down. But not the time where people were like, and I think maybe people were always fixing their bodies, and some I just didn't know of. Maybe.
Well, I don't know. I'm glad you said that, because while you're talking, in my mind, I'm thinking, when did the bodies all start? I think honestly, the bodies, when people start really looking at the body and trying to fix it and add butts and this, I think Nicki Minaj started that trend. I think that's when it all started coming out.
I think when the black woman became in vogue, then people wanted to look like the black woman. Because there is nothing on me that's fake, right? But then, I was just like, it's flat or stomach. But there are people who will pay for some of my physical assets, right?
Absolutely.
So I think that non-black people, this is my personal opinion, non-black people are pursuing, like, the black woman is in vogue. So you're pursuing a body that, because you don't want to struggle, right? But you want to look like this. And so now black women, so the standard has always been the non-black woman. Maybe the racially ambiguous, maybe the white woman. That's always been the standard, right? So this is my personal opinion. Please, I don't want no hate mail. This is what happens. It's just so funny to me. Maybe stupid. They're going to call me stupid, Lisa.
No, they're not.
I don't care.
We don't care about that type of stuff.
So you got the black woman with the big booty and the big breast, and we were all of that.
And the lips, and the lustrous lips.
And we were all of that when being thin, when being a size 0 was what people wanted. We were all of that. Then the black woman became in vogue. And then they're like, oh, I want to look like that, right? So now the black was... And they set the beauty standard. Like there is no, you can debate your mama, because they set the beauty standard. So now the black woman, in pursuit of the beauty standard, is now upping what we already have naturally. Yeah. So they've gotten it, and now we want to be, not we, because not me, want to be a part of that beauty standard. So we are now enhancing what is natural to us, chasing a beauty standard that was never ever meant for us. And so now, to me, they've twisted just our natural flow of things, and now we're riding with them. And what's going to happen when they change the beauty standard? Because they will. And so now you have to kind of undo things because, again, if you were someone who is chasing pretty privilege and you're chasing a privilege that is defined for you. Because you don't just all of a sudden wake up and say, I want bigger breasts, because I'm telling you, if you had them naturally, you don't want big old boobs.
I mean, you could, coming from a female like me that doesn't have any.
I say if you had them naturally.
You said you don't wake up wanting to have bigger boobs?
Because it's made for you. Like, your opinion is literally crafted for you by people who set beauty standards.
Agree to disagree.
Okay. Why do you want bigger boobs? Like, what makes you think bigger boobs are better?
I mean, I think a C cup would be good. Period.
I'm
just saying, I would want just a bigger. Because I guess it's a personal opinion. This is what I feel would go good with how my body is. My petiteness of my body, I think a larger cup would be better.
But why do you think that?
That's just what I think.
Where did
That's
you
what
get
I
the
want.
thought?
I didn't look in the. You think I looked at somebody and said,
No,
"Oh, she
I
had
don't
a D
think
cup."
anything. I'm asking you to think, because I'm
the
gonna
thought.
push you.
I know the thought just came from me.
I don't think that. I do agree to disagree. I think that our thought, it comes from what we're exposed to. Why do I want a flatter stomach? My husband every day is like, "Oh my God, I love your body. You're such a..." But I have. Let me say this. I have such a distorted view, and this is just real. My kids say I have body dysmorphia. They suck. But I do have such a distorted view of what a good body is, because I have seen so many manufactured bodies. And so me, 44, 45 years old, I don't know when it's coming out. I'll be 45, July 4th. 45 years old, right? 3 kids in. Right, just my mama got a big old booty. I'm a black girl from the South, right? Like, some things, maybe if I eat better, but some things are just inherently me. Yeah. But when I look and I see another 45-year-old woman, and I see a 45-year-old woman who's had surgery, it's just kind of like, that's what I want to look like, right? Like, that's just, and I know that comes from, I've decided that this looks good to me.
I don't know. For me, I feel like being in your age bracket, I feel. I have my stomach issues too, but I don't.
Your stomach is so weirdly flat.
Stop, please. I'm not looking at somebody who got their body done, or look at somebody that goes to the gym every day and have a 6-pack and saying I want to be like that because I see how that looks or whatever. I'm saying that because I remember how I used to look when I was 18, 19. I remember how my body was fine and I didn't have any extra skin or no stomach. That's where I get my,
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it's, I am self-aware enough to know that I'm never gonna look like I look pre-baby. So that's not my. But when I see it is, and we talked about this on an Unplugged. It is seeing women my age.
Body goals.
It is seeing women my age that make me say, like, hey, and while I don't want to be that woman, right? I'm just kind of like, yo, like, I would like to have a flatter stomach.
Yeah.
But because that's what you see. That is what, and most people don't look like that.
Yeah,
but that is what you. But no, most people are not. There's a small percentage of women out here getting, and men are getting their bodies done.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, they're getting pecs and everything. Yeah. Like, interesting.
This world is going to hell. So, the minute a man start getting his body done. But, yes. But no, like, there's just in the grand scheme of things, most people didn't get their body done. Right, but what do we see? What is it? You think the algorithm is, I'm about to be very conspiracy theorist. Oh, it sounds gross. But do you think that social media is not made to push, this is what you should look like? This is the beauty standard? And it is. And you think, because that's why there are so many filters and everybody is pursuing pretty privilege. So you can make remember I was telling you, I was like, oh my God, I can make my stomach smaller with this app. You can whiten your teeth. I could fix my chin with an app. Like there's an actual option for your chin.
That is true.
And so first of all, you're competing with people who don't necessarily really look like that, because now you have 15 apps that make everything look really, really natural. But it's not. And so what are you competing? You are looking for pretty privilege, competing against people who, without the help of all this stuff, would never be objectively pretty. And then now, like, you're in this whole cycle of, what does that look like? And what happens when the beauty standards change? What do? You done got your butt lifted, your breasts lifted, all of that. And now it's like flat butts are back in. I don't see that being a thing because.
No, or you run into complications and you have to remove it, right?
No, is that a thing?
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Well, I know with breast, there was a whole thing in the 90s about breast implants. Yes, people having all these complications with breast implants. So you are risking your life in pursuit of pretty privilege with no. And here's the thing: what opportunity do you have in mind? Maybe I can get behind it if you were like, I'm getting my butt done because this is an opportunity that's guaranteed me. But just to be just anything. But just to be in a pool of women and just like. And then I know that people are going to be like, oh, my God, I did it for myself. And then it's like, okay, well, then do you think that people who get surgery have self-hate? Like, do you think?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Not unless there's a botched situation.
No, I'm saying have self-hate. Like they struggle with, a low self-image, low self-esteem.
Oh, that get their body done?
That's why they get their body done.
Yeah, I mean, that could be possible.
I don't know what I think about it.
I don't know. I mean, you probably have some that may feel that way, that are doing it because they are insecure about their body and they want to enhance it to make themselves feel better. And then you just have some that knew they were fine once upon a time. They had a couple of kids and it's like, I want my stomach back. So, but as you're talking about it too.
You're trying to like go back, like you're trying to rewind time?
You're not trying to rewind time. You're just trying to get back to the shape.
Should you not accept your body in every stage at every age?
You can accept it, but you still have morals and not morals and beliefs, but you can accept it, but it's sometimes you move based off of just preference when it comes to your body.
Agree to disagree. Okay, go ahead. I don't because I'm working through this right now. I did not have this planned, but I don't know that I do think what drives you, and you said, because of what you look like at 18, and
maybe not 18,
but younger, right? Like younger. Before your kids did a thing to you, right? Why do you think you don't just accept that? Look, I had babies. This is just what I look like.
Because I don't want to. Like, for real, like, I don't want to accept that look. I know how I want to look.
Do you have fat phobia? You talked about that.
I have stomach phobia. That's what I have. Okay. Stomach phobia. Okay. I got to do something about it.
Do you just think it gives you better self-esteem?
Yeah, for myself, yeah. Because I know what I want for myself and I know what I want for my body. So, yeah.
And you, okay.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
And we don't have that much time because I know we've been talking for a minute, and I don't want to switch gears and get into something deep.
Spill it.
But when it comes to pretty, right? Do you think that people feel like they have to wear makeup and put makeup on to be pretty, or do you think that natural beauty is pretty?
I think natural beauty? So I just had this conversation with my husband. Okay. He feels like, this is not like makeup, but women who have their bodies done, he's like that. Like that's not a good body. Like he's like, I don't look at them and just be like it's objectively like, oh, their body is nice. But when I'm talking about like, oh my gosh, she's so fine, this is my husband speaking, it's never gonna be a woman who had her body done because it's like it takes away from it. Okay. And so as far as like women who wear makeup, now here's how I feel about it. I feel people get all like, oh, she wouldn't be pretty without that makeup. Do you understand that people are still objectively unattractive who wear makeup? So it follows that makeup doesn't make you pretty. It just enhances the way you look. People are dumb. It enhances the way you look. So I don't care if people wear makeup or don't wear makeup. Like I don't care if people get their bodies done. I just exploring that. Yeah. But like I don't care if people don't. I'm not looking at I've never been the person to say that she's only pretty because she has makeup. I might be like, yo, this.
I believe that's the thing. I don't heard people say things like that before.
All the time. Yeah, like that's a thing. And like I said, you've seen unattractive people with makeup on. Makeup doesn't change. Like, let me say this. Can I be very transparent? I do think that makeup does change. Yes, because now there's contouring. You can change the shape of your whole face, and that's what makes so the standard of beauty is asymmetry, right? And so symmetry. When your face is like symmetrical, that's what people find is beautiful, right? And so if you are able to manipulate that with makeup, okay, maybe people have a point, honestly and truly. Maybe we be like, when you watch that makeup off, your face is not symmetrical. So you look a mess. So maybe, look at you causing me to think.
Finally, got the lawyer.
Anyway, we all over the place with this episode.
Yes, guys, we are.
And we sure appreciate y'all.
Yes.
If you got pretty privilege, look, get to the opportunity real fast and understand that you're going to have
Figure
to
something
look,
out.
get a skill.
Figure something
look,
out.
get a Bible verse. Do something, because that thing, it's not that your beauty doesn't last, but the privilege is not going to last if you have nothing to back it up. And that has been our experience, and we're obviously experts on this subject. So
beauty comes within as well.
It does come from within, I guess. Yes. Okay, all right. Well, we love y'all. Thank y'all for riding with us. Peace. See y'all later.